Your dog has probably brought you something completely ridiculous before. A sock, a stick, a random leaf, maybe even your underwear. If you've ever looked at your dog and thought, "What exactly am I supposed to do with this?" You're definitely not alone. The funny part is that your dog usually isn't being random at all. That slobbery gift actually has a reason behind it. Sometimes they're showing affection. Sometimes they're begging for attention. Sometimes they're trying to start a game. And occasionally, they're just incredibly proud of stealing something they absolutely weren't supposed to touch. So why do dogs bring us random things? And what are they actually trying to say? Let's find out. 1. They're giving you a gift. As strange as it sounds, your dog might actually be trying to give you a present. Sure, it would have been nice if they'd picked flowers instead of a muddy tennis ball or your left slipper, but dogs aren't exactly known for their gift-wrapping skills. In the wild, canines often share valuable resources with members of their pack. While your dog isn't hunting mammoths anymore, that instinct never completely disappeared. To them, bringing you something they consider valuable can be a sign of trust and affection. The key word here is valuable. Your expensive new dog toy? Boring. The old sock that smells exactly like you. That's premium quality in dog currency. Some dogs will proudly march over with their prize, tail wagging like they just won the lottery, then drop it right in front of you and wait for your reaction. They aren't expecting a thank you card. They just want to share something they think matters. So the next time your dog proudly delivers a chewed-up stick or a suspiciously dirty shoe, remember, in their mind, they may have just given you the greatest gift imaginable. Dogs have many talents. Good taste isn't always one of them. 2. They want your attention. Let's be honest. Dogs are masters at figuring out what gets a reaction out of us. If bringing you a random object made you laugh, chase them, or even yell, congratulations. You accidentally rewarded the behavior. To your dog, attention is attention. They don't always care whether it's positive or negative. If grabbing one of your socks instantly gets you off the couch, that's a pretty effective strategy. Some dogs even turn it into a game. They'll proudly parade around with your belongings just out of reach, making eye contact the entire time like they're saying, "Come on, I know you want this." This is especially common in energetic breeds that get bored easily. If they aren't getting enough mental stimulation or exercise, they'll invent their own entertainment. Unfortunately, their favorite hobby often involves stealing your stuff. The funny part is that many owners unknowingly make the game even more exciting. The moment you start chasing your dog around the house, you've transformed an ordinary sock into the most valuable object on Earth. So if your dog keeps bringing you random things, they may not be giving gifts at all. They might simply be saying, "Hey, stop staring at your phone for 5 minutes and pay attention to me." 3. They're showing off. Sometimes your dog isn't asking for attention or giving you a gift. They're simply showing off. Many breeds were originally developed to retrieve, carry, or find objects. Retrievers are the obvious example, but plenty of other dogs also love the feeling of finding something and proudly carrying it around. To them, discovering an object is almost like completing a mission. That's why some dogs walk into the room looking unbelievably pleased with themselves, holding a stick that's twice their size or a toy they've rescued from under the couch. They expect you to notice. They worked hard for that achievement. Of course, dogs don't always make the best decisions about what counts as treasure. One day it's their favorite ball. The next it's a toilet paper roll, a cardboard box, or the TV remote you spent 20 minutes looking for. Some dogs will even keep picking up new objects if you praise them. In their mind, they're absolutely crushing it. Humans smiled. Mission successful. Time to find another thing. So, if your dog proudly struts toward you with something in their mouth, don't be surprised if they're basically saying, "Look what I found. Pretty impressive, right?" even if what they found is your other shoe. 4. They're trying to tell you something. Sometimes the object itself isn't important. It's simply your dog's way of starting a conversation. Unlike us, dogs can't walk over and say, "I'm bored," or "Can we go outside?" So they improvise. Bringing you a toy, a leash, or even a random object they've learned gets your attention can be their way of making a request. Over time, many dogs figure out exactly what works. Maybe they once brought you a ball, and you immediately started playing fetch. Or they grabbed a shoe, and suddenly everyone in the house was focused on them. Dogs are incredibly good at connecting actions with results. That's why it's worth paying attention to the timing. Does your dog bring you things around their usual walk time, right before dinner? When you've been working for hours without looking up? The object might just be their version of ringing a doorbell. Of course, not every random gift has a deep meaning. Sometimes a sock is just a sock. But if your dog consistently brings you certain items in specific situations, they're probably trying to communicate something. The better you learn your dog's little habits, the easier it becomes to understand what they're actually asking for. And that's a lot easier than playing detective while wondering why there's suddenly a slipper in your lap. 5. When bringing things becomes a problem. Most of the time, your dog proudly delivering random objects is completely harmless. It's funny until the treasure happens to be your TV remote, your wallet, or an entire loaf of bread they somehow stole off the kitchen counter. The bigger concern is when dogs start carrying or swallowing things they shouldn't. Socks, rocks, batteries, children's toys, and pieces of plastic can all become serious choking hazards or cause dangerous intestinal blockages. At that point, it's no longer an adorable personality quirk. It's a trip to the emergency vet that nobody wanted. If your dog constantly steals household items, the best solution isn't punishment. Instead, make it easier for them to succeed. Keep tempting objects out of reach, give them plenty of appropriate toys, and reward them for choosing those instead. You can also teach a reliable drop it command. It might not sound exciting now, but the day your dog proudly runs toward you with something they absolutely shouldn't have in their mouth, you'll be very glad they know it. So if your dog insists on bringing you random things, enjoy the funny moments. Just make sure the next gift isn't something that ends with your veterinarian saying, "I can't believe they ate that." Thanks to thousands of years of living alongside humans, dogs have become incredibly good at communicating with us. Sometimes they use barks, sometimes they use body language, and sometimes they proudly walk over and drop a disgusting slobbery object at your feet. The trick is remembering that context matters. The exact same behavior can mean different things depending on your dog's personality, breed, and what's happening around them. One dog is bringing you a toy because they love you. Another wants to play. A third is hoping you'll chase them around the house. And one particularly chaotic dog is simply stealing your socks because they've discovered it's hilarious. So the next time your dog brings you something random, don't immediately assume they're just being weird. There's a good chance they're trying to tell you something, even if that message arrives covered in mud and drool. Now we're curious. What's the weirdest thing your dog has ever brought you? Let us know in the comments. Some of those stories are guaranteed to be stranger than anything we could have put in this video. Don't forget to check out our selected and recommended products. They might just be the perfect tools to make your life easier when it comes to caring for your pawed friend.